Hey and welcome to my channel. I'm Starseed Angel, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you about a few multiple experiences I've had over the years, especially before I started to learn about my clairs. Even though I was already open with a few of my clairs that I knew about, this happened these experiences happened over the past few years, probably 5 years ago. 5 years ago. So I used to document it in a journal. I'd write it down. Actually, this when I was told by other psychics it's good to write it down and get a journal. So I went and did that. That's how I started. I mean, there's nothing wrong with writing it down. I really think you should still write it down, but I hate writing, to be honest. I absolutely hate it. So I've gone from writing it in my journal to now typing it all in like a document in my phone or in my iPad. So yeah, so I've got multiple experiences in here. I'm only going to share with you like the really good ones. So I'm going to pause this video and I'll be back. So while I had it on pause, I'm back now, so obviously. So I've gone through my book and I want to tell you about the very first time I seen angels, which I've known. I mean, I know the angels now. I didn't know back then. It was really, I didn't know what the hell I was looking at, to be honest. Like, I didn't know. Okay, so this was what year? 2017. A few years back. So we're living on the Gold Coast, and because I'm in a different house now, so I moved back then. So now, yeah, this is my old house. I only had the 2 kids back then, and Ariel was probably 2, I think. She was a little toddler baby. And I was sitting in, our bedrooms were really close together. This is at night time, okay? And sitting in her room, she had a recliner chair in her room. She's still got that chair in her room. That hasn't changed. But anyway, she had this chair in her room, and I was sitting in the dark in her room. She was in the cot. Or she was on me. I think she was in the cot at the time. And I was just sitting on her chair, and it was nighttime, and the bedroom light was off. And even though we have the bathroom not far from it, I always keep the bathroom light on to shine a little bit of light. But I saw right in front of me, in the dark, because I was sitting in the dark, a little blue speck of light. This is the very first time I've seen this. I didn't know this is before I knew what it was. So, a little sparkle of light, like it was just a little sparkle of light, and I didn't know what it was, okay? It was really crazy. I was thinking, what is that? Like, I'm just sitting there, and it's not scary, it's like, you just don't even know what it is in the moment. It's like, what is that? And that's what I was thinking. And then, like, I told one of my psychic friends about it, and they told me it was like Archangel Mike. It was blue, a blue speck of light. Okay, it was a sparkle, tiny, I can't even, like, it's tiny. It's like a little tiny pinpoint of light, and I'm in the dark, and it's like right in front of me, and I could see it. I'm like, why would there be a light there? Like, it was like, yeah, so I've told a few of my psychic friends about it, and one lady who was my mentor at the time, she told me it was the angels, it was Archangel Michael, and another psychic lady also said the same thing. So that's when I first discovered that I could see the angels, like, in little sparkles, like the specks, they're like little sparkles of light. So, so that was the very first time I experienced that. I remember it clearly. And I've experienced that several times in Ariel's. They always were around my daughter Ariel. Like, the sparkles. It was only like one, but like it was always in her room, or a lot, most of the time I've seen it in her room, but it was in other places of the house as well. So, which I will tell you about in a minute. So I'm going to pause it in between each story so I don't sit down reading all this before I jump back on. So that's when I first found out about the angels, like the little sparkles. So yeah, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back and I'm going to continue with the sparkle story because there's several. This is crazy. Like I said before, they're always, a lot of the time I seen them in her room. Her room was right next to mine, so this blue sparkle. There was another time where I just, I put her in her crib because she was like a baby. And as I was walking out of her room, I walked past this blue speck of light, which is what I've been talking about. I walked straight past it, like straight past it. It was, and I noticed, and I was thinking, there it is again. So this was, and it literally was there for like 2 seconds. But then this is still the same year. This is 2017. But so here's another experience I wrote here as well. Don't know if you can see that. Okay, so I hear Ariel cry. She's in her, wait, I hear Ariel cry. And I go to her room to get her, you know, she was in her crib at the time. As I go to get her out of her crib, I see the blue speck of light in her crib. It was inside of her cot, the crib where she was sleeping. I was very surprised to see it there. So I remember that very clearly. So I went to get her out of her crib because she was stirring. I don't know where I was because this is back in 2017. I may have been in my bedroom, which my room was right next door to hers. So I went to get her because she was stirring in her cot, in her crib, and as I went to get her out, I seen the actual blue speck of light inside the crib. So yeah, that was crazy. I remember that. And I think, if I remember clearly, I don't think I wrote it down here, but I didn't write it down, but I remember as I seen it, it was like it dashed away. It dashed away, like it was in the crib and it moved. So yeah, so that was another story of the little blue specks of light, or sparkles, right? Yeah, which are angels. I know they're angels now. So that is Archangel Michael. He's the blue one, the blue sparkle. I'll be back and I'm just going to find something more. And I'm going to leave the best stories to last because there are other stories in here which I want to tell you about. So I'm going to tell you about this experience as well. Also in 2017, I'm going to read through it a little bit as I go along because it's a few years back now. I can't remember every single detail, but it comes back to me as I read it. So it was nighttime and I had noticed it was 11:55 p.m. And I was like, wait a minute, I seen the exact same time as I did the night before because I used to always screenshot it, like the digits like on my phone, especially like the angel numbers, like it was 1155, 222, 333, 111, any numbers with patterns like that, I would like screenshot it. So I was like, wait a minute, that happened yesterday. It's 11:55 p.m. and yesterday I saw exactly the same time. You know, it felt like the same thing happened. So as I did that, I was in my room and I was like, wait a minute, I have to go back in the lounge room now because I've left my laptop there. I had to go and charge it, which I would charge it in my bedroom. So I went back to the lounge room to grab my charger for my laptop at the time. And as I was walking back to my bedroom, I was like, oh my God, there it is again. The little sparkle was on the tiles, like low to the ground. So I did see the little sparkle that night. I walked straight through it, like it was there on the ground. I just walked straight past because as I was walking, that's when I noticed it. So, because Ariel's bedroom was right next door to mine. So, as I was going, to my room, and you know, and I charged my iPad, my laptop at the time. I went to Errol's room to settle her back down because she was like a baby. So I would sit back in, I'd sit in that the recliner in her room. It was actually a small room. It wasn't really a very big room. So I would sit in the recliner in her room and feed her to sleep because I was breastfeeding at the time. Well, to settle her, it helps to settle her, then I'd put her in a crib. So as I was sitting in her chair, okay, I don't know if this was an experience or just maybe, okay, this was, I don't know what this was, right? This was really strange, okay. Okay, what I said is, I don't know if this is an experience or whether it was just me. Okay, I was just reading what I wrote here. So, the room felt different. It's really strange. I'm trying to go back in my mind of that moment so I can explain this better. So, I was sitting on the chair in her room, and the room just felt, it felt different. Like it's not a very big room to begin with, right? It's not a huge room. It's just very, to me, it was small compared to the other rooms I've had. Like, it was a small room, and the cot where I was sitting, the cot was like there, and I was sitting in the corner here next to the closet, and the door's like, I really cannot explain, like right in front of me there. But it felt like, how do I put this? It felt like every few seconds the room would feel smaller and more closed in, and then all of a sudden it'd feel normal again and airy, just like it felt closed in, like it felt like the cot was closer to me, even though I was sitting in the dark. Not completely in the dark, but her bedroom light was off. And the only reason why I say not completely in the dark is because there's a bathroom directly across, but the door is the other way around, like facing the other way. So it wasn't, you don't get light directly in it, but you get some light. So it's not completely pitch black, but you can still see, but it's still, I'm still in the dark. So I was just sitting on her chair with her, and every few seconds I would feel like the room felt more closed in. The cot felt closer to me, like it felt, even though it was already a small room, it felt more smaller than what it was. And then all of a sudden it'd feel back to normal, like not big, but it felt more like it was, the way it should be. It felt like, it's really, like I said, this is really hard to explain. One moment it'd feel more closed in and heavy, and the next minute it would feel light and airy, like it was like back to normal. Then it felt heavy again, then light again, and like it kept on doing that for a few seconds. So yeah, so I felt more light in a sense and empty, and then the room would feel heavy again, and much more. And the cot, which was like kind of directly across from me, like from where the chair was, felt more closer to me, and then it felt more the way, not far away, but where it should be. It was really weird, like really weird. Okay, I'm just going through this, and then like, okay, so then this is what happened. I went to get up. I put Ariel back in her cot. Straight after I laid her back down, I felt, this is like I said, I don't know if it was me or it was something going on. I put her in the cot, and as I felt dizzy. Like I literally felt dizzy. So I literally swayed from the left to my right. Like she was already in the cot, she was safe, but I felt dizzy. I had to grab onto the cot for a second. It was really weird. So yeah, so I felt dizzy. So I don't know whether it was an experience or me, but all I know is that room felt different. And as I was sitting there, when I was sitting on that chair, I didn't feel dizzy. I felt normal. The only thing I was feeling is the room felt like 1 minute it'd feel heavy, like everything felt more closed in, the walls felt more closed in, and then all of a sudden it'd feel more normal, like just like a room would normally feel to you, like how it always was felt feeling, and then it'd feel heavy. So yeah, so I have no idea what that was. And then in the morning, another synchronicity, I woke up at 5:55 a.m. So yeah, that's that story. I'm gonna be back. I'm leaving the best ones to last. So yeah, I'll be back. Okay, still doing 2017. This is another angel story. I've had many angel stories in 2017 because that was the year I started seeing them. So I always check my babies before I go to bed. So I am checking Ariel in her cot, in her crib, and I am putting her blanket on her. And as I do that, I wake her up. Well, not intentionally, obviously, but like, she wakes up. Of course, she knows when I'm standing there. Like, I want to get her to sleep again, well, she was already asleep. I was just trying to put the blanket on her, and she wakes up. So, as she has the chair in her room, I sit on the chair with her and try and settle her back down to get her back to sleep. But as I'm sitting on that chair again, this is another crazy experience in Ariel's room. I could sense, even though I was already in the dark, it's not completely pitch black in her room. I could sense, the room felt, it was going like, I could see it. It was like going from darker to lighter. It was like 1 minute the room felt like it was darker, and the next minute it felt like it was lighter again. Not like feeling light, but like in a sense of like it's not as dark. So 1 minute it was light, the next minute it was dark, the next minute it was light again, and the next minute it was dark. So it was kind of like, I felt eerie in a way. Like, it's really hard to explain. You really got to experience to know what I'm talking about. So 1 minute, so I was just sitting there and I was just trying to, in lack of better words, I was just trying to sense if there was something there. Because it was going dark to light, dark to light, dark to light, like every few seconds. I was just sitting there trying to feel on it, like with my clairs. I was just sitting there trying to see if I could feel anything. As I was not 100% sure whether I could or not. I didn't know if anything was there or not. I wasn't sure if I was making it up in my head, but all I know is the room just 1 minute felt like it looked like it was darker than usual, and the next minute it was like a little bit lighter than usual. Like, it was just not dark. Like, it was like, to me it felt like, I don't know, it might sound crazy, it felt like something was coming in and out of the room, making it darker and lighter. I don't know. I don't really have no clue, but that's kind of like the vibe I was getting in that moment. But I was just sitting there trying to sense, like, if there was something around. I didn't know. But all I know and all that I could see is the room. 1 minute was light, and the next minute it was dark. Then it was light, not like completely dark. Like, it was darker than usual, darker than what it would normally be. And the next minute it wasn't as dark, and then it was dark again, and then it wasn't as dark. So I was just sitting there trying to sense, trying to feel on it, trying to see, to feel, to know if there was something there. So I wasn't 100% sure. So I was like, okay, Ariel, you're coming in bed with me. I wasn't going to leave her there. So I took her into my bed, as I do sometimes. And as I lay down with her, I see the blue speck of light, the blue sparkle of light, again. But this time when I see it, it's much brighter, and it's up close and personal, like right above my daughter. She's like next to me, like on the bed, she's lying next to me, and it was like really close, like near her face. Like, where was it? Yeah, it was right above my daughter, like just above, like where she was. Like, she was like literally right next to me, and it was like just above, hovering above her. And like, it was really close. It was like in front of my face, like it was above her, and then it was like come like near front of my face. And then I put my head back a few inches. Like, I put my head back so I can try and get a better look at the sparkle. So I put my head back to try and see it better. I mean, I could see it, but it was like, because it was really, really close in my personal space. Like, to see what it was, and it was like, whoa. You know what it felt like? It felt like it came to check up on us. That's what it felt like. It felt like this sparkle was checking up on us to see if we were okay, just to say hi. That's how it that's the vibe, that's the feeling I got in that moment. So that was Archangel Michael again. I'm very, very certain that's the blue speckle light. So the little blue sparkles you see are angels. So like archangels, like Archangel Michael. So that's the story of when I got to see up and close and personal with that sparkle. So I'm going to find the next one, which might be, I might tell you about the shadow. Yeah, okay, I'll see. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so I have found the story with the shadows. This is one of the best ones, but after this one, in probably my last part of the video, I might tell you about the wind and the lightning. It's not really lightning, but it looks like it. Okay, now it's like I said, this video is full of craziness, crazy stories, weird things that I've experienced. This is, yeah, still back in the same house. This is all in 1 year. So I had a lot of things happen in this 1 year, 2017. Okay, so this is the one about the shadow. Okay, so I was in bed, not yet asleep. Not yet asleep. From my bed, I can see the hole, because it was my, like, it's really hard to explain, like, my bed here, and the hole, the door's there, like, just there, and then the hole. So I could see the whole of my, just the whole way. Where the main bathroom is, because Errol's bedroom was, like, right next door to mine, but her door was, like, this way, and my bedroom door was like that. So, and then there's the bathroom across. So, yeah, so I could see the hall where the main bathroom is, and like I said, I leave that light on. Even though I leave that bathroom light on, I do close that bathroom door, like, no, I don't think it was closed. Yeah, halfway, like at least halfway, because so it's not completely bright, but it gives us a little bit of light. So, yeah, so where the main bathroom. So I was in bed, not yet asleep, but from my from my bed, I could see the hole where the main bathroom is, and I think I saw a shadow, right? I saw a shadow go past, where there would be no shadow. Like, there was light there, so I seen a shadow go past. Like, there shouldn't be anything there. There was nothing there to... It's like a person just walked straight past real quick, like in the hall where the light is. So I saw a shadow walk past. Then after that, yeah, okay, that's right. Now I remember. Okay, this is back a few years, so I'm just trying to remember this. I remember I was, you know that uneasy feeling you get? I had that uneasy feeling, like, it's really hard to explain these feelings. You just felt like uneasy. Yeah, uncomfortable, like something didn't feel right. Like, I just felt uneasy, that things didn't feel normal. I just felt, yeah, it's just that scary, eerie, yeah, like, it's quiet, the house is quiet, there's, I just seen a shadow, I know what I saw, you know, I went straight past, like, near the door, near the bathroom, and because there was light, because I had the light on, but the door's halfway closed, but you can still see, you can make out a shadow. I went straight past that door, and I was sitting on my bed, and I was feeling really uneasy. Like, I just felt that uneasy feeling. There was like the uneasy vibe all around my room. I just felt like I couldn't sleep in that moment. I could not sleep. How could I possibly sleep when I know I just saw a shadow just go past, and I had this uneasy feeling, right? So, when I feel that way, I always go to God. Okay, so I was asking God, not in a religious way, just in, I know there's higher power, you know. I was asking God for protection. This is before I knew about my guides, but I didn't have much of I didn't have a relationship with them at the time. Like, I knew of them, I was just starting out to learn about them back then. So I would always pray to God, I would always ask God when I feel like uneasy or scared or anything. So I was feeling uneasy. And then I asked God for protection. And then I sat up, and not long after that, because I was probably lying in bed, because I could see the bathroom in the hallway from my bedroom door, and that's when I saw it go past. So I sat up, and not long after that, this is the crazy bit, but this is the good kind of crazy, okay? As I sat up, not long after that, I see, this is how I seen, you know, the blue sparkles in a different form, okay? Not as a sparkle this time, okay? I see a blue wave in the air of light. So it was like, kind of like, looked like water, but not water. It's really had, it's like a light, the air had light in it, and it was blue. So I seen that blue wave of light, which was not that bright, but in that moment I had that feeling of relief. I knew in that moment that was the sparkle, even in a different form. I just knew, like, you just know. In that moment I had the feeling of relief, and I said, oh, there you are, because I probably hadn't seen the sparkle all night, but I seen it in a different form, and it was in a form of like blue light, and a blue light, but as in a wave, like the air was wavy and blue. And yeah, so I knew in that moment it was either the angel. In that moment I thought it was either an angel or spirit guide. So I still, probably the angel, but I'm not, could be spirit guide also. But yeah, so in that moment, the eerie feeling, all the scary feelings I had had gone. I felt safe. I felt safe and protected. Then I was just could just go to sleep. So I went to sleep after that. So yeah, that's the story about the shadow. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you two little stories. These are really short stories, so I can just tell you about these two right here. So one is about the wind in the kitchen, right? This is crazy. So I was just standing, like, this is a really short story, but I was just standing in my kitchen, right, next to the kitchen bench. I don't know what I was doing. I was just standing there next to the kitchen bench, and I have all the doors are closed, all the windows are closed, and I was just standing there next to the kitchen bench. I don't know what I was doing in that moment, but all of a sudden I could hear and feel, like, in front of me, like I felt like it was like in front. I didn't know where it was coming from, but it sounded like cyclone wind, and it sounded like just wind, and it was just, I could hear it like in front of me. Like I felt like it was in front, because I was hearing, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I'm in that moment, it's not scary, because I'm just trying to work out what is going on, and I'm like getting my hand out, and I'm trying to like feel and touch where I feel like it is, you know. And I was like, that's crazy. So like, that is, I didn't know it was an experience at the time until I looked back on it, like later on, like the next day. I was thinking about that. So, and I did tell one of my mentor at the time, and she said she had a similar experience too, and she told me it's spirit. Okay, this is a different story. Same house, same year. I was just sitting in the lounge room on my recliner in the lounge, and I was on my laptop at the time, and this is gonna sound crazy, like everything else has sounded crazy. So I was just sitting there, and on my laptop, and it was nighttime. This was just before I go to bed, and to my right side of my vision, on the right, just right, like kind of like not directly aside, but like kind of like at the front, but slightly to the right, I could see what looked like lightning, but not lightning, but it looked like something was glitching in the air, like something was manifesting there next to me. Like, I don't know, but it was like lightning, but not lightning. It made me jump in that moment. It like, I didn't know what, it startled me, you know. It scared me a little bit, but not scared, but like it startled me. So I felt something was just trying to, for lack of better words, it looked like it was glitching, and it was like about 5 or 7 seconds I seen something glitching in the air that looked like lightning, but without the electricity vibe. Like, I didn't feel like it was electricity, but it was like just strange light in the air, like white light. It was like, yeah, it was white, and it was like, it looked like lightning, but it didn't have a lightning vibe to it. Like, it didn't feel like electricity, but it was like trying to glitch. It was like, it seemed like something was trying to manifest there, but it wasn't able to. So that's the vibe I got in that moment. So that was kind of weird, like really crazy weird. I had a lot of crazy experiences that year, 2017. So that's the year I was actually on Facebook a lot, in psychic groups. I was doing these psychic exercises in these groups. I feel that contributed a lot to setting the intentions to wanting to develop my clairs more, wanting to open up more spiritually, psychically. I think that had a lot to do with, even though I already was open, because I started opening up clairvoyantly back when my oldest daughter was like 3, 2010 or 11. Yeah, so yeah, 2011 I think it was. Yeah, that's when I noticed I was psychic, noticed I had the abilities, and that's when my journey started to take off. That's the beginning of it. But I had a lot, yeah. Over the years, I've had a lot of different experiences, but this video has been about some of the crazy experiences of 2017 mostly. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video today of all the strange, crazy experiences I've had while opening up spiritually, especially back in 2017. Yeah, comment below if you've had anything similar happen to you. I want to read about your experiences. Definitely I will respond when I can. Comment whatever you like below, as long as you keep it all nice. No mean comments in the comment section, please. I appreciate it if you don't. I'm sure you won't, because I don't think you're going to be like that. Anyway, yeah, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more of my videos, definitely consider subscribing. I do plan on uploading at least once a week, maybe twice a week, but I'm definitely aiming for at least once a week. So I'm usually try and upload on a Thursday or a Friday my time. Yeah, so at the end of the week I usually try and upload, so that's been so far what my schedule has been for uploads. So yeah, definitely, like I said, like and subscribe, and all my contact details, like my socials, will be in the description box below. So I'll hope you have a nice day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.